Erectile dysfunction is a curse upon the psychological landscape of men worldwide. It cuts to the bone of a man's physical well-being as well as the very essence of his masculinity. So if you want to learn how to cure erectile dysfunction the conscious way, stick with me today because I'm going to dive deeply into this topic. Having coached many men through healing their erectile dysfunction, I want to share some of my unique insights on this topic, which is so often shrouded in silence and stigma, but is in fact a pathway towards profound growth and more conscious relationships if it's approached in the right way. My name's Jasper Brown, founder of thelegendarylover.com, and I'm a men's relationship and intimacy coach. Over the last several years, I've worked very closely with many guys who are suffering from ED and have also experienced it numerous times throughout my life as well. I've noticed some key areas and high leverage points that I want to discuss to help other men out there break through this major pain point that can absolutely demolish a man's self-esteem and easily break his relationship if he's not conscious of what's going on. First, I want to point out that while medical solutions such as Viagra are the go-to cure for this issue, you may wish to work towards solving it the natural way, which is totally possible, and I'll get to that in just a minute. The problem with taking Viagra is that it's like pumping up a tire after it's being punctured. It might stay hard enough for you to get where you want to go, but soon enough it's going to deflate again, and each time you want to go for a ride, you've got to pump that sucker up again and again, which becomes, let's face it, a bit of a pain in the ass. I think we can all agree that it's not a good strategy and that it's far better to bite the bullet and fix the root cause of the problem, the puncture itself. It's the same with using Viagra. Using it will never solve the actual issue. You're basically just bandaging it up temporarily. Not to mention it's inconvenient, it's awkward, and it keeps you dependent on the drug itself every time you want to have a bit of fun. Now, there is a caveat here. ED can often be a general symptom of aging because, let's face it, we're not really designed to make love like a stallion for our entire life. So if you're approaching old age and your testosterone and blood pressure is decreasing, Viagra can be a legitimate workaround. But if you're a man in your prime and you're in generally good health, Viagra ain't really helping you. It's in fact only stopping you from the healing your body is calling for. See, your body is very intelligent. There's an important reason that your equipment stops working, and in the majority of cases that I've seen, including myself, it's because you're emotionally dysregulated. The anxiety, fear and shame we as men feel when our gear breaks down is overwhelming. That horribly awkward moment, the disappointment in our lover's eyes, and the confusion it creates are quite simply put traumatizing. That's why after it happens the first time, it marks you and you're dreading the next sexual encounter in case it happens again. And so it gets worse and worse and turns into this vicious downward spiral. Like a kind of self-fulfilling prophecy, but not the good kind of prophecy, the evil, unfortunate, embarrassing kind. The thing to understand is that your ED is your body's way of saying, wake up, bro. There's something more important to address here than getting your rocks off right now. We're shutting down your sexual motor functions in order to get your damn attention. Here's an alarm signal that you cannot possibly ignore. And this is basically the thing that most of us dudes try to do because we're so uncomfortable with the heavy emotional states that arise. We've been conditioned to believe that showing vulnerability makes us weak. So instead, we play it cool, pretend like nothing's wrong, spin some excuses, but your guy down there is like, no senor, not possible. The problem is that you can't bulldoze your way through this one and pretend it's not happening because it obviously is. She can see it, you can see it, there's really no escape because your body doesn't lie. Your nervous system is activated in these moments because it knows you've created some kind of unrealistic expectation or made promises to give this girl the night of her life. But when she discovers the truth about you, things are going to get pretty awkward pretty quick. Because of this, your body is ready to basically run, fight, or freeze. Essentially, your survival is on the line, and that's why your sexual energy gets cut off because it's not the most important thing in that moment. So in order to work through this, we need to address the dysregulation of your nervous system first. This means slowing things down and giving space to the intense feelings that arise when we approach intimacy so we can work through whatever is there. And in this way, we can create the safe environment for the sexual energy to flow naturally once more. This can be as simple as, babe, can we just take it slow? I really want to connect with you emotionally first. Or you might need to go deeper than that and express that ED has been a problem for you because of some of the trauma that you've experienced in the past, and you would love her support working through that, as well as the shame and anxiety that you're feeling. Whatever the case, I've noticed in coaching loads of dudes through this issue that when a man is brave enough to stand in his truth and vulnerably invite his lover into that emotional space with him, things can shift very, very quickly. I've seen time and time again that emotional intimacy, trust, and healing, which is generated by being authentic and ballsy enough to admit our flaws, is the gateway into deeper relationships and truly epic lovemaking. In fact, it's precisely these principles of conscious masculinity that I teach in the Legendary Lover course. I'll leave the link to that in the description below. I hope you found these insights illuminating and they give you the courage to deal with erectile dysfunction in a more conscious way. Remember, our flaws and vulnerabilities don't make us lesser men. They are actually an integral part of being human, and a mature and wise man is the one who is able to admit the truth instead of pretending to be something that he's not. There is far more courage and strength to be found in a vulnerable, uncomfortable truth expressed from the heart than in a pretty lie to maintain a facade of masculinity held in place by our pride and ego. So that's it for this video. I hope you've enjoyed it. Please click that like button and subscribe to my channel for more conscious masculine wisdom coming your way.